How to take notes from highlighted text by me. So, our previous lesson we looked at highlighting the text and finding the evidence in the text. And so we've done that and we've highlighted it. So now we are going to need to answer the questions based on what we've highlighted. So the part that we are finding is why the new settlement was established at Moreton Bay. So that's the question that we're trying to answer. So we had these subheadings here, our sub-questions. So we're going to now have a look at that. So I'm going to follow my yellow highlighter because that is why it was a new settlement needed. Now I'm just popping points because we don't need to write in sentences as such, but we can just take some notes. So we can see over on the left-hand side that our yellow highlighter shows us that we needed a more severe system of discipline, and hoping that the hardships would change their habits, their behaviours. So we can write in here, needed a more severe system of discipline, hoping needed, yeah, we can do that, that's fine. All right, and also we've got more yellow down here, send the worst criminals. So they wanted to send the worst criminals to there. All right, so what sites were considered? So if we now look at our green highlighting, we can see here that we have highlighted a site far from Sydney and obviously Port Bowen. So it wanted to be far from Sydney. Let's do a capital for Sydney. And so the things that were places were considered were Port Bowen, Moreton Bay, and Port Curtis. So they're the places that were considered. I'm pretty sure there's no other green highlighting, but let's just check. Oh, we did Moreton Bay again. All right, so all good. So let's go back. So the question, who investigated the sites? So we see that we've got John Thomas Bigg highlighted and also John Oxley and his exploration party. So we can say that John Oxley and his exploration party, suggested by John Thomas Bigg. Okay, so we've got that. So now, question, which site was chosen? So we have our purple highlighting. I don't think we've got any in source 1. So in source 4 and source 5, we have 2 lots of chosen sites in here. So we can see which site was chosen. So firstly, we had Redcliffe Point, and then we had secondly was Brisbane River. Okay, why was the site chosen? I just noticed that it wasn't highlighted on this copy, but I've fixed that up now. So why was the site chosen? So if we go back onto the first source 4, so it says it easily communication with the sea. And if you remember from the previous lesson, we were saying that it just meant that it was easy to get off the boat. The boat was there and we could get off the boat easily. So we can say we'll just say, actually not right, easy communication with the sea. So good place to disembark, which means getting off the boat. All right. Oh, so we'll just put this here firstly because that was Redcliffe. Actually, I'll just write Redcliffe here so we know what I'm talking about. Redcliffe was easy communication for the sea, and the Brisbane River. The reason that was chosen because there were not many trees. The soil was good for growing crops because that's what soil adapted to the purpose of cultivation means. It was good soil for growing crops. So they are the ways that we can write the notes from our highlighting.